Hey everyone, this is VJose32 back here. This is 366 days of cards. And today's deck review is the Expert Back. And we'll have a look at that. I want to apologize quickly for not posting a video yesterday after I did the unboxing. I just didn't have enough time. I was busy the whole night. But I will be posting a special bonus deck review today to make up for it. But for now, we'll start with this one. The Bicycle Expert Back. Kind of focus here a little bit. As you can see, it's got a vintage looking box design. It says standard size on the top, bicycle, vintage spade pip, and then it says Expert Back, playing cards on the bottom. One side it says Heritage Series, made in USA. There you go. The other side it says the same thing, Heritage Series, made in USA. The top says standard size, standard face. Not quite. It's not standard faces. Bottom says barcode. There's a barcode. Doesn't say barcode. It has a barcode and trademark information. And in the back, you see the back design, which is basically like the 125th anniversary. Except, this is the Expert Back. I think they were meant to use this one for the 125th anniversary decks, but they ended up using the fan back. To my understanding, it's very, very similar, but it's different. And at the top, there is a seal, standard seal, and then flap, trademark stuff. And as you can see, the whole box is very dirty and worn out looking, distressed. It's a distressed is what they call it, the distressed Expert Back. Even got it on the flaps, and of course on the cards. And the cards are very interesting. So here is, you got a ad card. Yeah. Crap, I lost it. And then here's your back design, very dirty. Also slightly a one-way back design because of how all the worn and faded stuff is. And I'll show you. And then there's another ad card. You can see if you turn one upside down, it's different. So definitely a one-way back design, and also definitely a interesting face design. Faces, pretty cool. They got a vintage court card, as you can see, with vintage pips, and also the indices. It's just like the 125th anniversary. There's an except it doesn't say 125th anniversary edition all over it. I think it's the same. But you do got your vintage pips and indices. Everything is very dirty, maybe a little bit too much dirt. There's a nice club. There's your spades. Jokers, you got one standard joker, it says guarantee. That's a guaranteed joker. Here's another court card. Here's a heart. Just look at a bunch of cards here quickly, randomly. The Ace of Spades is a vintage style Ace of Spades. It says bicycle on the bottom. Vintage spade pip, and it says playing cards and the US logo. Very nice. I like to see that in a vintage or heritage deck as opposed to the new one, because they're supposed to be vintage decks, so they should have vintage pips and court cards and aces. The only thing vintage that they don't have that's vintage, that could have been vintage, is the jokers. And here's the other one, just a standard joker. So that's the only little minor thing. But other than that, really good job. Handle's nice. One thing you will notice if I spread the cards is, let me zoom out. Every card is basically different. It looks marble from a distance, as you can see. Every card has a different face discoloration. So it's basically a one-way back design, a 54 face design. Every face is different. Look at that. It's pretty cool, I think. Obviously standard stock and finish. Handle's nice. You can see there's one that's upside down here right away. We can see that. So you can see that it is a one-way back design. right there. That's right, I got upside down, but it did. But obviously for Magic, this could be pretty useful. Forcing, probably not so much. For cards, sure, why not? And for collecting, definitely collectible. And even look at that, when you fan it like this, and the very nice colors, really nice, and it fans really nice too. I can actually fan this deck. Usually my fanning isn't that good, but this one, it actually looks like it fans really nice. If I were to reverse that, not that good at it, but you can see different colors again. Pretty cool. And it's definitely a bonus that they actually put in vintage Ace of Spades, vintage Pips, and vintage court cards, because many vintage decks, they don't do that for some reason. Like all the vintage series decks, they didn't do that. So overall, I'd probably have to give it an 8 out of 10 if I was to rate it. Very nice job. And that is this deck review. Also, I actually, see, I got this one here. This is a Canadian one I got at Walmart not too long ago. I reviewed it. There was some people saying they were the same thing, but clearly it is not. These ones, I got standard faces. They got brown pips, basically colorless court cards, and standard faces outside of that. So definitely not the same. They do have a vintage Ace of Spades, but that's about it. So not the same, obviously, but still pretty cool. Anyways, just wanted to mention that, and stay tuned for a special bonus deck review coming up soon. I'll see you next time.